Are people allowed to actually say this stuff about Arsenal currently after everything that has happened last season, season before, and Mikel Arteta, the questioning his tactics and all the stuff? Are people allowed to put pressure on Arsenal? We'll see what the overlap said. I actually wanted to see a couple of things about Chris Wilder, the ex-Sheffield United manager, have told a story about how Arteta built his team to this position today and what has happened over the years and how Arteta now, I think, in my opinion, is being considered one of the best managers out there in the world. There are people that disagree with me. Also, talk about Danny Murphy talking about Victor Gyokeres and what he offers to Arsenal and the chances of Arsenal winning the Premier League or the Champions League, of course, and Simon Jordan and Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara talking about the chances of Arsenal and they're going to be a problem. But before we go on and show you the videos and actually comment on him like we do all the stuff, this is Footy Judge Mo, guys. We do live shows, we analyze games, we do everything about the Premier League and also European football. But make sure to hit that like button if you are here on this video. Subscribe if you are nice enough, because we are trying to get to 50,000 subscribers with your help. The like button pushes the video to new viewers, of course. Every subscription counts. A comment underneath the video will actually go a long way because it tells YouTube their interactions. And I try to read your comments and actually try to respond to the majority of them. So thank you so much for everyone supporting the channel. One like for every view would be legendary because it will push the video to a lot of other places. So they are talking about Arsenal now. Let's go back to the video. They're talking about Arsenal's chances of winning the Premier League. Are they favorites? Are they trying to put pressure on Arsenal? Has the pressure shifted from Liverpool to Arsenal this season after Liverpool spent that much money in the summer? So let's hear some of the opinions from the people on the overlap, on TalkSport, on other platforms as well. And actually, I want to hear what you guys think about what these people say. So let's start by actually hearing what Gary Neville have said about the Arsenal chances of actually winning. So let's hear it.
It's ridiculous to say this because we've all been in title races.
League's over.
What?
League's over.
No, if they don't win it from here. No, seriously. No, from here where they are.
It's still a long way.
No, I know. But if you think about
straight here,
no, they're not.
Are we going? Are you saying that from how many games are we in? Gal?
No. We've all predicted Arsenal to win the league, right? We know it can go wrong. We know that it's very.
Nobody did. Why is he lying? Nobody did, bro. Nobody actually said that Arsenal are actually winning the league at all. Everyone said that Liverpool are winning the league because Liverpool spent 500 million. So why change now? And also, how is it theirs to lose if we're only 8 games in? It's kind of, if they are like ahead of like 8 points and we're in February, you can say that. But let's continue with this. I think it's nonsense.
We all didn't predict Arsenal
No, we
to
all
win the league.
didn't.
Hold on a second, Gary.
Sorry, Jill predicted Chelsea.
Did you say Arsenal?
See, so nobody predicted Arsenal. He's just saying that he predicted Arsenal. And none of the people in this video predicted Arsenal to win the league. Of course, probably, apart from maybe Ian Wright, because he's an Arsenal fan.
I did.
Who did
He did.
I think
Who did
I'm
Jamie
Arsenal,
go with?
Liverpool.
Oh, did he?
Jamie went with
I might
Arsenal as
say
well.
Liverpool.
There's a lot of Arsenals, right? But Roy, you know what I'm saying, because it's ridiculous to say it. But if they don't win it from this confident position here now with where the other teams, I know a lot can change, but they're in a good place, Arsenal.
How many games? How many games are we? We're 9 games in, are we?
Yeah,
9 games.
29. It's a long way
Last
to go.
season,
Right?
Liverpool were 9 games in.
Every game's a cup
How
final.
many points?
Liverpool were 9 games in last
Every
season.
game
They
was
were
a cup
doing
final.
well,
Eight
Gal.
games
I'm not
on
putting
the
pressure on them, right?
You
here.
never said that.
Right, I'm not putting pressure on
It
them.
feels like you are.
No, it feels like that Newcastle game has turned the corner.
You think?
Yeah.
That's absolutely bollocks. It's absolute bollocks, you know? This is ridiculous. Because I don't think anybody, like, listen, nobody predicted Arsenal to win the league this season in the beginning with Liverpool signing Isak and Verts and Ikitiki renewal Mohamed Salah and Van Dijk. You can pick them now and say maybe because the problems that you see at Liverpool. But to put that statement out and say that Arsenal are, if they lose it from here, bro, that is nonsense because you never know what is going to happen. Are they favorites? Probably 50-50 or probably, we don't know. Liverpool might, like, they might actually start playing better. Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad. What if Haaland stays fit the whole season and he's banging 35 goals a season? What happens then? You can say that it's Arsenal's to lose. You can say, sorry, you can say Arsenal favorites. But to say that if they lose it from here, I think that is an agenda. But let's hear. It's a very, very good story that I heard from Chris Wilder about Mikel Arteta and what he actually built playing Arsenal. It tells you where Arsenal are currently and how Mikel Arteta built this team to this level. It's absolutely amazing to hear what he said. So let's hear what he said about that story when his team went to play Arsenal, because it would tell you what Arsenal are built on.
You can't out Premier League the Premier League. And even though I appreciate the praise that you stuck on us, there was games that, we could go for and identify, and there's certain other games that, you had to make sure that you were pragmatic with your approach. The difference now is the physicality, because you can't bully Premier League players as Championship players. 2019-20, when we were in the Premier League, especially at Bramall Lane, we ran over the top of Arsenal and got a result. And then when I went back last year, one of the first games was Arsenal at home, and we said we have to set a tone. Bramall Lane I think it was a Monday night. It was a cold night and whatever. So you want to use all the advantages that you've got, and you have to try to be physical, because you can't outplay this team. You'll try and find the big moments. A lot of things have got to go right for you to win a game of football in the Premier League. That's how difficult it is to win a game of football in that division. So we'll set a tone. The ball will get rolled back to Jack Robinson. He'll put his foot for it. He'll put it right over Gabriel, and Ollie McBurney's going to come off the side and crash an header. Well, Ollie McBurney was absolutely dumped on his backside. After 10 seconds, Gabriel headed the ball forward. I think it went into the centre forward. He popped it back to Martinelli. He switched it to Odegaard. It's gone to Saka, overload, and rolled across the face of the goal, and somebody's missed an absolute tap. And I'm going, well, that ain't working.
That is absolutely phenomenal. But that tells you what Arteta has built with the physicality and the challenges, and Gabriel and the midfield and Saliba and Calafiori and Timber. The physicality of Arsenal is absolutely apparent on the pitch. And that is, in my opinion, in the modern game, if you don't have the David Silvas, the Agueros, you don't have the Kevin De Bruynes, which is probably Arsenal don't have all these technical players everywhere on the pitch. Yeah, their players are good, but they aren't the Neymars, you know what I mean? You gotta rely on the physicality and the structure, and that is what Arteta has built. When I'm watching Arsenal, one of the things I notice is how structured they are, and the physicality adds to that part. Winning long balls, winning headers. You see, even Havertz was winning like first and second balls as well. And that's a very nice story from Chris Wilder. It tells you where the Arsenal base is at now. Is that you cannot bully them. Real Madrid tried, couldn't bully them. It is very hard to bully this team. Physically, they are very strong. One of the strongest teams in the world physically. If I'm not mistaken, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. To be honest with you about this, we still continue with some of the others. Simon Jordan have said something. I think Simon Jordan lately, and I want to hear, has been honest about his analysis of the Premier League, has been honest about his analysis of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City lately. But this, what he said in this video is very interesting. And I want you guys to hear how it's not only about the first 11. It's not only about how you approach games. It's about how you go throughout the season, which is what he said in this video, which is my opinion about the Arsenal squad and how deep it is actually. And that's how it can compete in two competitions, the Champions League and the Premier League. Let's hear this. It's absolutely astonishing what he said.
The question is whether Arsenal can do either or both. And given the squad that they've assembled, there's an argument to say they could do both. It's a tall order. It's a big ask. There are other teams in that competition that might have something to say about that, like PSG, who've turned now into arguably the best team in Europe. And so there's lots of challenges there.
I'm going to stop the video here and just say something. The fact that he didn't mention the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, that he thinks that Arsenal may be at the same level at these teams, Real Madrid as well, that he thinks that the only team is above everyone is PSG. I think that is what we talk about when we say Arteta did his work at Arsenal and made the team as competitive as they get, actually, which is so important in your body of work, to actually be feared when you go play football, to be feared when you play games. And that is, I think, what Arteta did. That's why I like Mikel Arteta. Maybe he needs to win a trophy. Not maybe. Sure, he needs to win a trophy. But that is what he has built. Let's continue because there's a small part before we move to the next video.
But Arsenal have assembled a squad of depth and quality that means that they can change games with their bench and they can go deep without having to worry about the challenges they've had previously. That they've now got players to come back that are missing, like Havertz and Gabriel Jesus and Madueke, that will come back into the side that are absent right now, that will be part of the side. So they've really got themselves into a really good position.
Yeah.
Really good position. But
Yeah, absolutely. But that is down to the work of Mikel Arteta, actually, and what he's built. Now adding Gyokeres to that. And I know a lot of people don't like Gyokeres. I am still think that Gyokeres needs to get better. And I know that I've criticized him. I've criticized his goal scoring. I know he adds something outside of the of just the goal scoring. Yes, he scored 2 goals against Atletico Madrid. But what Danny Murphy spoke about Gyokeres is something that I've seen, like Gyokeres drags defenders, Gyokeres adds physicality up top. He actually is a presence. He might not touch the ball 50,000 times in a game. He might not get involved like Kai Havertz. He might not drop deep to get the ball and keep the passes going like Kai Havertz. But he's a present striker that will allow the wingers and the midfielders to have chances, which is what Danny Murphy have said. It's a short video, and it actually echoes what I've said. Look at the tone, how it changed about Gyokeres just because he scored 2 goals.
Danny, no other way to ask you than this. What is Victor Gyokeres?
He's a very good centre forward who knows how to play the role. Very physical, very unselfish, bit old school, if you like.
it's a bit like Diego Costa in your book.
That's not a bad comparison.
Absolutely spot on. But Diego Costa ended with finishing, with scoring goals. But yes, it's all about the fight. But I don't think that Gyokeres has that dog in him. Like Diego Costa has the shit house. I don't think Gyokeres is the shit house at all.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think he's one of those players that if you speak to centre halves, they'll say after a game, that was tough. Because he doesn't stop running in behind. He'll fight you. His touch is decent. He's not as aesthetically pleasing as others in terms of his skill or link up. If, little one touches round the corner and things like that, it's not really his game. But I think Arteta nailed it. He said that he makes them a better team than they were previously, and I thoroughly agree with that statement.
Is he an elite striker? Does he need to be in this team?
Well, they needed someone, yeah. And he fits the bill quite nicely because he's got that wonderful attitude that you want from a striker to work for the team. I don't think...
I want to ask you a question, and I need your answer. Didn't Kai Havertz do all this work? I want Arsenal fans or whoever, what is the difference, in your opinion, between Kai Havertz and Victor Gyokeres? I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm just going to say they are different. There's a massive difference between both of them. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section about the difference between Kai Havertz and Victor Gyokeres that both play for Arsenal. Because, listen, Kai Havertz had a decent scoring record when he played up top. But there is a big difference between both actually in the play.
I think his ego, he's not going to be overly concerned that he doesn't score every game as long as the team's winning. But when you make a signing, what you're trying to do is improve the 11 at a top club, and he's done that because he's a more orthodox forward than Havertz. Havertz has got talent and he's a clever footballer, but Gyokeres is much more intimidating, much more a focal point for them.
That's spot on actually about what Danny Murphy have said. I wanted to hear what you guys think as well in the comment section. What Gyokeres offers, in my opinion, which is now I'm going to tell you the answer. Hopefully you commented already, is a box striker that will be always present in the box, that will play on the shoulder of the last defender. I have seen Gyokeres run off the shoulder of the last defender multiple times. Kai Havertz will drop deep, will get involved, will make runs, but will make runs from deep. He will pass the ball and make the run. Gyokeres is already on the shoulder of the last defender, but that keeps the defender always alert. Because if the forward like Kai Havertz is dropping deep and linking up the play, it's happening in front of the centre back. Gyokeres is always on the shoulder of the defender. The defender doesn't know if he's going to drop or he's going to make the run. So he has to be worried more about where the ball is going to be played next. And that is a main difference in between the two strikers, actually. This is just a small clip about Arsenal now. A lot of people are saying that they must win it from here. That is another pressure that is being put. And that was, but Darren Bent, who's an Arsenal fan, actually spoke about what would stop Arsenal from winning the Premier League. It's a very important point that he spoke about. So let's hear it.
Previously, we've said this is your best chance. This now
is the best chance.
Is your best chance.
I think the only thing that could derail him, because we're talking about...
Well, this is my question to you. What's your kryptonite? What will stop Arsenal winning everything this season?
Pressure. And the reason why I say pressure is if it comes down to, say, Arsenal, Liverpool and City are all going for it at the same, and it's really close in terms of the points. 2 points, 1.3 points, right? It's maybe it's the Arsenal fan in me, but it's hard to kind of back against those two because those two have had pressure of going at each other and have been able to kind of navigate themselves to win the Premier League.
Can I stop here and say I'm not knocking down Liverpool team. Liverpool have been amazing and phenomenal over the years. But Liverpool have not won the league in a title race. Even the Champions League finals, they lost against Real Madrid. They won the easier one against Spurs. I'm not saying that Liverpool only win when it's easy. It's not their fault that the league is not sometimes as there is no title race because the other teams do this, do that. But Manchester City have won the majority of title races in this era. That is a fact that no one can tell me otherwise. Liverpool have won the title in 1920 when they were cruising. They were a magnificent team, probably one of the best teams I've watched lately. But last season, there was not a lot of pressure. Mohamed Salah was fantastic. Arsenal fell off a cliff tactically, injury, whatever you want to call it. Man City as well. So I disagree a little bit with that invent about the pressure. Might be between them and City, actually. But maybe because Liverpool got over the line, he's saying that. I want to hear what you guys think.
Titles or win whatever competitions they're in. So I think that's the only thing right now is the pressure that can build an Arsenal. Have they got that mentality to finally get over the line and win the league or win the Champions League? That's where I think is the kryptonite.
That is maybe the mentality that he's talking about. I don't know. Is it the mentality he's talking about? Do you guys agree with him? I want to hear. I disagree. I think the title race that Arsenal were with City is gonna be is the blue is the what is it, the benchmark of how Arsenal can try to go in the title race. However, they fell and they didn't win it, which is like 2 years ago. So we'll see. I still, maybe he is right about the pressure and the crumbling point and all this stuff. And that is maybe what Arsenal need to get up. Maybe that's why Arsenal need to build a lead, actually. Let's see what Jason Cundy said about Arsenal being a problem. He's a Chelsea fan, remember this.
Was it 4 goals in 14 minutes? You know, just blew Atletico.
Yeah, they fell apart, Atletico.
Do you know what? They once they conceded that...
Jamie Horner is always trying to actually tear down the work that Arsenal did against Atletico Madrid.
First set piece, they were terrible. Arsenal were brilliant.
Yeah.
But the Lewis Skelly through the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's like parting of the sea.
Yeah, it was.
But look, take nothing away from Arsenal, mate. They'll tell you, they're a problem. They are a big problem, and they will go deep in this competition again. They're my favourites to win the Premier League. Jay, don't ever pop at me.
I'm not having a pop.
Don't have a dig at me. Don't blame me. Okay?
I'm not blaming you for anything.
Well, there's no point in throwing a strop with me.
Yeah, he's blaming him for saying Arsenal are favourites. What do you guys think, actually? Do you think Arsenal... Okay, it's far-fetched that Arsenal win both, but I think they can go far in the Champions League, and I think they can win the Champions League. I think in the Premier League, I think they are favourites to win the Premier League. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Thank you all for watching me. Appreciate you. Hit that like button if you guys are here. And I will see you guys in the next video. And make sure to leave a comment. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate all the support that people are giving me. Everybody here. I will see you guys soon. And what are